physical and we're better physically than you are. So we're going to prove that to you by running on the ground. Minnesota, on the other hand, Dick, they've just got to generate some offense or they're going to be in all kinds of problems because they just can't leave their defense sitting out there on the field as much as it has been against a great offensive team like the 49ers.
Wayne, one area where the 49ers are not crisp, of course, is offensively. In what specific area of offense do you think they're not clicking right now?
Well, it's the passing game, I think, and I mentioned a reason in the first half, the fact that Montana got hurt. He was out for a while. Matt Cavanaugh came in. That's going to be a little bit disruptive for them. You know, they've dropped some balls. They fumbled a couple times. There have been penalties, and it just seems whenever they get going, you know, something would disjoint them, something like that. So I think you'll see them. Historically, they come out after situations like this and come out just a whole lot smoother and better. They've always been known, Bill Walsh and his staff, to make excellent adjustments at halftime.
Last year, of course, they struggled in their opening game against the Detroit Lions, barely won that game, and of course finished 15-1 on the year. And so very often on the first week of the season, you have those kind of surprises with the favorites perhaps not doing as well as he could. Tommy Kramer, of course, is the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings really have not shown much of an offense. Credit to the 49er defense?
Well, yes, you bet. They're one of the best in the league, but now, as I said, they've been pretty conservative. Look at those numbers, and he really hasn't gone downfield that much. I think he's got to start utilizing a guy like Anthony Carter and loosen and widen the field out a little bit for the 49ers. They haven't gotten downfield with the deep pass, and he's got to air it out a couple times just to loosen them up, just to show them that.
We visited the Vikings in the training camp at Winter Park on Friday. The feeling was that they were, despite the acquisition of Anthony Carter, that Bud Grant was going to have them pounding the ball away to try to get that running game going. And of course, the running game is what got the 49ers in the lead early in the game.
Roger Craig right here with good blocks out in front. Russ Francis working around, getting a good block on Matt Blair. Randy Cross with a bump right there that takes care of Browner, and then Roger Craig just strong running, packs a couple guys on in there.
Is it possible, Wayne, that after that turnover, the first possession of the game and a touchdown by the 49ers, is it possible that you may kind of, breathe a little easier if you're San Francisco, saying, hey, this may be easier than we thought against this 3-13 team?
I think that happens, and it happens a lot to teams who, a lot of times they'll take a ball down and drive it 80 yards for the first score of the game, the first time they touch the ball, and it does have a tendency to have you, it's going to be easy today, and you do have a tendency to let down a little bit. On the other hand, you've got to give Minnesota's defense some credit because they've come up with some big plays, too.
3 turnovers. Jan Stenerud, at 42, the oldest player in last year's Pro Bowl and the only player for the Vikings in the Pro Bowl. That's one of the things they haven't gotten recently in their down days. They hope to regain that. But Stenerud, who had a terrific year, will be kicking off. First time he's been on the field, and deep for the 49ers is Dana McLemore and Derek Harmon. Harmon to the left, McLemore to the right, as we begin the second half here in Minneapolis. 7-0 San Francisco. Bud Grant returns. This is his 18th year as head coach. Les Steckel was the coach last year. In a sea of turmoil, a lot of injuries in his defense, but things just didn't work out. And Bud is back. And we're underway in the second half. Kicking over to Derek Harmon's side is Stenerud at the 8. Back to the 32-yard line, where the tackle is made by Jay Carroll, a tight end who played at the University of Minnesota and came over from Tampa Bay. Craig and Tyler each have gained 55 yards on the ground today.
Craig on 6 carries and Tyler on 10, and of course Craig with the only score.
They spot the ball at the 31, 1st and 10, and those two are in the backfield. Jerry Rice starts the second half, wide receiver to the right. Swing pass is thrown behind Craig, incomplete.
We question whether there might be a timing problem with Joe Montana after missing the last 2 preseason games and not taking any practice time. I mean, he just only practiced the 5 days prior to this game, and he said, I don't think it will. Maybe at the start, it might bother me, but I threw well in practice. And anyway, he's the kind of guy that if he does get off to a bad start, it doesn't bother him much.
So it's second down on the 31. Rice lines up. Copy the screen. Here's Wendell Tyler with Randy Cross blocking, and Tyler brings it out to the 36-yard line. A gain of 5. It'll be 3rd and 5. Mark Mullaney with help from Chris Martin, the right outside linebacker, making the stop for Minnesota.
And those are the kinds of things I'm talking about the physical dominance of the 49ers with plays like that.
3rd down and 5. Dennis Johnson comes out in the middle. Nickel backs are in for the Vikings. Russ Francis goes out. Jerry Rice to the bottom of your screen. Dwight Clark to the top. 3rd and 5 at the 36. An audible called by Joe Montana. Montana going up top for Clark. He's got it. And a 1st down. At the 35-yard line, Ted Rostnagel, one of the nickel backs, knocks him out of bounds, and a gain of 29 yards.
There's Clark down. That's Willie Teal with the bump and run, but it's not really bump and run. He's just playing a short zone. Going to turn him over to Rostnagel, the safety, who doesn't get to the corner. That's tough for that safety to cover that deep outside, and Rostnagel couldn't get there.
Dwight Clark has gone over 5,000 career yards and receptions. This is the first time last year since 1980 that Dwight Clark did not lead the 49ers in receiving. And a big gainer there. 1st and 10 at the 35 with a pitch to Roger Craig off the left side, and he is hammered down at the 30-yard line. Tackle there made by Chris Martin with help from Willie Teal.
Double tight end situation that time, and they tossed toward it. They're just almost telling the Vikings what they're doing. They've run that play now 5 or 6 times, and the Vikings haven't stopped it yet.
Gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 as the Vikings are defending against the 49ers drive. It'll be 2nd and 5 at the Minnesota 30. Bill Ring is in at fullback. Dwight Clark returns to the game. Freddie Solomon is wide to the right. Inside handoff to Tyler. Spins his way to the 26-yard line. Shy of a 1st down. By not much, though. Chris Martin and Mark Mullaney once again on the tackle. As Wendell Tyler came over from the Rams, and Mark Mullaney nearly had a touchdown on his first NFL interception in his 11th career in the NFL in the first half. It was nullified, and that was the Vikings' closest opportunity for a score. 3rd down and 1. Tyler, 1st down. Mullaney gets the first hit, but the 49ers have a 1st and 10 inside the 25-yard line.
But it was a good job of blocking by the San Francisco offensive line. Mullaney did make the hit. Look, he's just kind of, watch Fred Quillen, John Ayers right there. Ayers down on him and kind of knocked him off the line and got him raised up before he was able to make the tackle. And that was just a good job coming off the ball by John Ayers.
David Howard, who was acquired in the supplemental draft from the USFL, a linebacker number 54, made sure Tyler wouldn't get more. But it's 1st and 10 for San Francisco on the Vikings 23. Switch in the backfield with Ring and Tyler. Montana throwing, and he's got Dwight Clark out of bounds for about a 5-yard gain, and this is reminiscent of the first Super Bowl championship year when the 49ers used ball control. Instead of running for short yardage, they would pass.
You know, it's called when you go into halftime and say we're going to get back to basics. 3-step drop here by Montana. That means the pattern's going to be in about the 6-yard range, and that's exactly where Dwight Clark was.
2nd down and 4.
2nd and 5.
Inside handoff. Wendell Tyler with a 1st down to the 10-yard line. Slicing off nicely. Scott Studwell makes the tackle, and John Ayers, the left guard, with a nifty block.
But they're just controlling the line of scrimmage now, like we mentioned that we're in the first half, and a lot they thought. Watch the center, Fred Quillen. He gets a good block on Mullaney, number 77. That opens things up. Randy Cross down, getting part of Studwell. And Tyler with plenty of run room, that quick burst up.
He's made a lot of tackles in his career as an inside backer, as you would expect. Derek Harmon is in the lineup now with Roger Craig. On 1st down, Harmon goes nowhere as he's ganged up on the 10-yard line. Keith Millard, among other people. Mark Mullaney there. And the Vikings really closed up the middle on Derek Harmon.
Except after being handled a couple times, Mullaney came back and got excellent penetration.
Vikings defense has been equal to the task in this game, and of course they were the architects of the great Bud Grant years. Purple people eaters, as we saw at the very top of our broadcast. Second down and 10. Montana rolling out, throwing, fumble. Vikings have it. Freddie Solomon was on the receiving end, and he coughs it up. And that's the fourth turnover of the game by the 49ers. Joey Browner picked it up.
Ground level action right here. Solomon just runs a short out pattern, turns it up, and takes a good hit there again from number 21, Rufus Best. And the ball comes out before Solomon hit the ground, so that's why it was ruled a fumble.
Second fumble recovery by Joey Browner, and Bill Walsh has his headset off. There's Browner. Browner and Best have played outstanding football for the Vikings today, and there's the turnover story. Shocking, to say the least. So the Vikings have it, first and 10 on their own 8-yard line. Darren Nelson breaks loose, and Eric Wright prevents a first down as Nelson is stopped at the 10-yard line, and it could have been a lot worse if he got by Wright.
So that was an artificial turf move that Darren Nelson made. Watch Keena Turner coming in on a blitz. Right there, number 58. He's in good shape, and look at that adjustment right there by Darren Nelson. And only a saver right here by 21 Eric Wright prevents some big yardage.
Give him 3 yards on the play, second and 7. Spot the ball at the 11-yard line. 7-0. 49ers lead under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's Nelson. And Nelson brings it out close to the 15-yard line. Gain of about 4. It'll be third down and short yardage. Ricky Ellison and Carlton Williamson make the tackle, and the 49er bench kind of quiet right now. There's Fred Quillen.
Randy Cross back to the left of him. John Ayers, number 68, Bubba Paris.
Bud Grant. Third down and 4. Kramer completes it to Darren Nelson. Close to a first down. He may not have it. See where they spot the ball. Jeff Fuller makes the stop on Darren Nelson, who made a fine catch on the throw by Kramer, who has been struggling through the air today. And this is an important measurement coming up now for the Vikings. And for that matter, the 49ers, to see whether Minnesota will keep possession.
Nelson thought he had it when he got up. We'll see.
He did.
Nelson ran that pattern against Jeff Fuller, number 49, the defensive back who plays kind of a linebacker spot in a nickel situation. This is Fuller's playing it correctly. You can't let him inside because they'll go forever inside. You got to play, let him run the out pattern. That's a tougher throw for the quarterback, and you can come up with that kind of play, but it wasn't quite enough.
2 tight ends in there now for the Vikings. Anderson is the lone setback. First and 10 at the Viking 18. Anderson on a quick hitter up the middle to the 23-yard line. Fred Dean making the tackle, and a gain of about 5.5 yards. Dean in there on first down.
Watch the pull a guard. Watch Dean, number 74. Pull the guard, he reads and comes right on down the line chasing. And that enabled him to make that play. Because of various injuries, neither Fred Dean or Keena Turner played in the preseason schedule for the 49ers, so this is their first effort. They give Anderson 6 yards, second down and 4. The center is Jim Huff. And here's a fake Statue of Liberty handoff. Darren Nelson around the right side is stopped about 2.5 yards shy of a first down. Todd Shell making a tackle. So we're seeing a little razzle-dazzle from the Viking side. And the Todd Shell was there. Ronnie Lott came up. Carlton Williamson was in pretty good shape. It looked good for a while. The Vikings looked like they had something going, but that white shirted defense is so reactive. They got back in pretty good shape on it.
Kind of a Statue of Liberty play, although it was a handoff in front instead of behind as Nelson goes out of the ball game. It'll be third down and 2. Vikings Vikings started this drive deep in their own territory after Freddie Solomon fumbled. They're on their own 26 now. Mike Jones in motion. They pass on 3rd and 2, and it's incomplete. They had Jordan, the tight end, short, and Anthony Carter a little deeper. Ronnie Lott was covering Carter, and it'll be 4th down.
Anthony Carter told us he thought it would take until about the 3rd or 4th week of the regular season before he would be in sync with his quarterback, and you could tell that was very apparent that time.
So Greg Coleman is in the punt for the Vikings, and Dana McLemore is back for the 49ers. A former 10th round draft pick out of the University of Hawaii has become valuable return man and a nickel back for the 49ers. Coleman. And McLemore fumbles, lost the ball. Derek Harmon may be the man back there for the 49ers to prevent real disaster. Joey Browner in to make the stop. He made the hit.
He made a sensational special team play. Joey Browner coming down to coverage from the outside, almost had his hands on the ball. Watching, he won't quit. Derek Harmon is number 24. Browner there again, but it's going to be Harmon and the 49ers.
Suspension, another demonstration of Ford quality.
1st and 10 back at the 16-yard line. Montana looking to throw deep. Dumps it off to Roger Craig. Craig works his way, fumbles, and the Vikings may have picked it up again. Let's wait. And now the official signal 49er ball. 49ers recovered.
Here it is right here. Play action fake. Hold the linebackers in. Montana looks downfield. Nothing there. Now he starts to break, and Craig reacts to it by bouncing out. Makes a cut in. Gets a block from Randy Cross. Watch the ball. He's down and got possession, and it came out late.
And I think it was Tim Newton, the rookie nose tackle, who caught Craig from behind and forced the fumble.
And I think Bubba Parrish was hurt on that play. He's out, which means now I think John Ayers may be playing left offensive tackle.
He is the #1 backup at tackle, so moves over for guard. We'll check the line for you. The pitch to Roger Craig on 2nd down and 3, fighting his way close to 1st down territory beyond the 25-yard line, and he may have it. Doug Martin and Rufus Best combined to make the tackle, and Martin is gingerly walking back to the huddle.
Martin just has to get his helmet in the way to make a tackle, Dick. That's
How big is that?
One of the biggest hats in the league right there. 8 1/8. He set it down the other day over practice, and I went and looked in it, and there was a bunk bed and a cook stove in there.
That's all? Bruce Colley, a 5th round draft pick from Texas Arlington, number 69, is in an offensive line for the 49ers. 3rd down and 1. Wendell Tyler has the 1st down and more as he brings it out to the 35-yard line. Joey Browner back in the game, making a tackle on Tyler, and he has been the big man inside running. He gains 10 yards on that carry.
Now watch how quickly he plants and gets upfield. Cross pulling, play designed to go outside, but look at Wendell looking inside, sees the gap, takes it, and he's by everybody with his quickness.
1,262 yards last year. He has 85 in this game. 1st down for the 49ers at their own 35 with 6:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's still 7-0 49ers. Inside handoff Craig. Scott Studwell from behind making the tackle. The whistle is blown. Right now for an NFL Today report, let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Dick, here's an interception created at the line of scrimmage by Chicago's Richard Dent. Hand on the ball. Leslie Frazier's got it, and he zips in for the touchdown, and the Bears have pulled back in that contest against Tampa Bay. It is now 28-24. Back to Dick and Wayne.
All right, Brent, Mike Ditka has the Bears coming back against Tampa Bay. Right here it is still 7-0 on that early score. Movement in the line, Keith Millard pointing his finger as he winds up within a step of Joe Montana, and of course the flags fly. May have been drawn offside and appears to be against the 49ers.
False start, number 69.
That's Bruce Colley. What about Colley, one of the new faces on this team? 49.
One of their draft choices, and one of only two of their draft choices that make the team as a rookie, and they say he's got everything going for him but experience. He's just going to have to be around a while. Believe it or not, he weighs 290 pounds, and you get up next to him and it looks like you could put about 40 more on him and you wouldn't know where it went. Tremendous physical specimen, but he's very young and very inexperienced at this level. Texas Arlington, he played his college football.
Second down and 13 following the penalty. The ball back at the 32-yard line. Montana trying to get the throwing game on Limbert. Completes it to Roger Craig, who's ridden out of bounds at the 40-yard line by Willie Teal. We talked about how aggressive the 49ers secondary is, but the Vikings secondary doesn't have to take a back seat in that department. Matt Blair also in on the play, but Teal was the first.
Blair, the 12-year veteran who around this place a long time, played during the good years of the Purple Gang and the Purple People Eaters, and definitely the leader on that defensive squad.
Freddie Solomon coming back in on offense for the 49ers is a wide receiver. John Frank, the impressive second-year tight end, also in. Third down and 5. Niners at their own 40. Tyler has a first down. Let's see where they spot the ball. He had to get to the 45, and he did. Matt Blair, with help from Keith Nord, making the stop, and we may have a measurement. 5:16 remaining, as you see Willie Teal, who is rated the best in the secondary for the Minnesota Vikings, that has undergone some changes this year. 5:16 to go in the third quarter. It remains 7-0 49ers, and that touchdown came early in the game in the first minute. They measure, and it looks like an inch or two, maybe an inch and 3/4.
Decision time over there on that sideline.
The ball at the 44. Bill Walsh said punt it away. Not taking any chances. And Walsh
talking about the way they placed it, I'm sure.
Head linesman hearing what Bill Walsh has to say, and here's Max Runeker in the kick for the 4th time, and Darren Nelson, who's back. He's got Alan Rice back there, along with Keith Nord. High kick, and Nelson at the 15. Goes up in the air and is hit at the 22-yard line. A tackle by Jim Farnhorst with help from Bill Ring, and we'll be back.
All you gotta do is smell.
Wolverines of Michigan.
Alan Pinkett, the great runner for the Fighting Irish, Heisman Trophy candidate, has a way to go on this one. He's going to catch up with Bo Jackson from Auburn yesterday.
1:30 Eastern time. Boy, Jackson really showed something yesterday for the Auburn Tigers. 1st and 10 at the 22. Wide receivers are Buster Rhymes and Mike Jones out to the right. The pitch goes to Alfred Anderson, who gets ground, and he does not gain anything. He is stopped back at the 20-yard line, a loss of 2. Keena Turner and Mike Walter combined to make the play.
Keena Turner made a good play out there as he strung it out, and then the inside backer, the man they called the plugger, Mike Walter, came out and made a good hit, making his debut here as the inside linebacker. Watch this now. Great athlete. He was drafted by Dallas. The 49ers got him last year off the waiver list. And the drills that they run in training camp, the quickness and agility drills, he beat everybody but one player.
He had 8 tackles and a sack in the win against the Vikings last year for the Niners. 2nd down and 12, back at the 20. Kramer looking, gets hit. He was going for Mike Jones, and he was hit hard coming in there. Manu Tuiasosopo, with help from Ricky Ellison, stormed up the middle against Tommy Kramer.
I'll tell you, Tuiasosopo with a good pressure right here. A little game going. Gary Johnson goes down inside, and Manu comes around behind him, and watch Tommy Kramer. He knows he's going to get hit, but he stays in there and plants and throws the ball anyway, and takes that for his efforts.
Tuiasosopo, acquired from Seattle, a real good plugger, and a solid nose guard. When they lost Pete Kugler, he came in and filled the bill last year. Of course, now Michael Carter is in the picture.
He can play every position on the line.
3rd down and 12 out of the shotgun. One fake and one throw. Alfred Anderson has got it. Anderson. Carlton Williamson on the tackle, and a big first down for Minnesota.
Alfred Anderson out of the backfield to the left-hand side. It looks like it was Carlton Williamson trying to run with him, and he just kind of split everybody. That's Jeff Fuller, number 49. Hicks, number 22, over, and here comes Williamson. So it was Fuller who initially had him coming out of the backfield.
It has been a kind of a drought for Tommy Kramer in the passing department today, but he connected on this big 40-yarder. Oddly enough, Anderson caught only 9 passes last year. He was the leading rusher for the Vikings. He looked good on that one. First and 10 on the 49ers, 39. The pitch to Darren Nelson. Nelson slices inside, still going. And picks up 8 yards to the 32-yard line, where Williamson and Ricky Ellison make the stop. And the Vikings fans are alive here. And Nelson appears to be slightly shaken up.
Alfred Anderson, he just got that pass. Now watch his block here for Darren Nelson. He goes in motion across the screen. There's the toss. Now watch number 46 work on Tina Turner, one of the good ones, and get Darren Nelson by.
Here's how Nelson was shaken up and goes to the sideline. He's replaced by Alan Rice. Second down and 2 at the San Francisco 31, and Alan Rice has a first down. Storms his way to the 25. Mike Walter on the tackle, and Rice used mostly as special teams in his second year from Baylor. Had a good block from Terry Tausch, the right guard.
Good block by Tausch. Now the Minnesota offensive line loves what they're doing out there right now, running the ball and mixing in a pass every once in a while. They're fired up and coming off the ball extremely well.
Concern on the 49ers sideline, especially number 16. Winding down to 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 7-0 San Francisco. The Vikings are threatening. Play action. Kramer going to the left side of Leo Lewis, and Lewis makes the catch.
Sensational. Leo Lewis against Eric Wright, one of the best cover men in the league. Kramer threw a wobbler, but it was effective. It got there, and Lewis made a great adjustment.
You think this man's concerned? Leo Lewis, who led the Vikings with 47 receptions last year. The Vikings, who hadn't gotten beyond the 42-yard line of the 49ers on that long 40-yard pass to Anderson, now have a first and goal at the 2. Alan Rice inside. At the goal line, touchdown.
Here it is, a straight ahead block, and this is a tough situation both ways down there, but this is just excellent effort by Alan Rice. Second-year player out of Baylor who keeps struggling and working and struggling and gets in for the 6th.
So Bud Grant's Vikings have come to the point of Bill Walsh's 49ers 7-6. Jan Stenerud will try to tie up the game. Greg Coleman, the punter, holds for Jan. And they are excited here in the Metrodome. The kick is good and the score is tied. Alan Rice from 1 yard out with a touchdown. Effort on both sides in this one. Watch number 50, Ricky Ellison, coming from over the top. Takes him. Terry Tosh comes over the top, tries to make the play. No avail.
Over the years, we've watched old number 51 retire a lot of ball carriers, but tonight we're going to retire him. So let's do it his way. Turn over those wine glasses and bring on the Lowenbrow.
Just remember, if you guys start messing up, I'm coming back.
Dad, send the money by noon, or you won't be coming to my graduation in June.
Send the money today, or your father and I couldn't be washed away. darling, I've run into a little trouble. Could you send $150 on the double?
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 9,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
That's okay. I'll get the door.
Third quarter as Jan Stenerud gets set to kick off for the Vikings. Derek Harmon and Dana McLemore are back for the 49ers. It's Harmon at the 5. Harmon to the 25, and he is down just shy of the 30. The 7 plays, 78 yards, the 2 big plays. Alfred Anderson with a 40-yard pass reception, and this great catch by Leo Lewis for 23 yards to give the Vikings first and goal.
Little Leo, they call him. He was drafted 6 years ago by the St. Louis Cardinals. Cut. He played in Canada, joined the Minnesota Vikings. He's been with them 5 years, and he hasn't made a better catch than that. One of the reasons I think that he came to Minnesota didn't hurt the fact that his dad played with Bud Grant in Canada.
That helps. Being able to make catches like that really helps. First and 10 for the Niners on the 30. Roger Craig hit by Keith Millard. And the Viking defense is aroused, as well as the 62,000 here at the Metrodome.
I told you about Millard earlier. He grew up in the San Francisco area, but he said, I'm a Raider fan. I'm a Raider fan. He kind of looks like he's out of that mold of Howie Long and Alzado. A little bit nasty out there.
Well, he's playing like he's not a 49er fan, but a Raider fan. Gain of 2 for Craig. Second down and 8 at the 32-yard line. 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. A shocking turn of events here in Minnesota. The defending champions hard pressed in the opening game. Montana steps up. Almost intercepted by Matt Blair. The intended receiver was Freddie Solomon. And it'll be third down, and Blair, who will be 35 years old this month, is shaken up.
Boy, a strange injury there. He hurt himself either jumping up or came down wrong when he landed on the knee.
And one of the more popular players to wear a purple and gold jersey, and you could hear that crowd go from elation to silence in just a split second, and Matt Blair in obvious pain.
And we told you, he's a 12-year veteran, the captain of this defensive.
And the problem is, Dan hasn't been in camp long enough to work these things out.
Well, they finally broke it up. A timeout called. We'll be right back.
It's summertime saving time, summertime saving time.
It's summertime saving time at your Mazda dealers, and we're dealing on everything. On the economical GLC hatchback, on 626, a classic family car, RX-7, the enthusiast's dream. And during our factory-supported truck clearance sale, you can save hundreds on an 86 Mazda B2000. See your Mazda dealer during summertime saving time.
Mazda summertime saving time.
There's never been a better time to save.
Houston.
Cincinnati came back and overtook Seattle now, 24-21 in the third.
And Kansas City way out in front of New Orleans. A lot of people are picking Seattle in the AFC as a team that could wind up in the Super Bowl this year in New Orleans. So the 2 Super Bowl teams off of last year. The Giants over Philadelphia 21-0. Miami and the 49ers both struggling. Giants way ahead of Philadelphia. And a hand for Matt Blair.
Blair is number 59. Uses his 6'5" to get up and almost make the interception. Let's see how he comes down. Hard to tell. May have pulled a muscle on the way up. It didn't look like he landed anyway where it would cause him an injury. We'll get a report and pass it on.
Third down and 8. At the 32. Montana. Up the middle. First down. Caught there by Jerry Rice at the 47-yard line. So that's the second catch that Rice has made in traffic. That's good for 15 yards as the clock sounds.
This one will really answer the question, really catch it over the middle. Total concentration here. Short post pattern. The ball's hanging up. He knows what's going to happen to him after he catches it. And he stayed right with it.
Jerry Rice, 3 catches for 44 yards. Browner made the stop as the third quarter ends.
Some things look
like getting a service break and then getting it back in tennis.
That's later on, the U.S. Open Final. First and 10 at the 47-yard line. Wendell Tyler finds a hole and has a first down to the Viking 41-yard line. Joey Browner on the stop. Tyler gains 12 yards, and he is coming close to the 100 mark in this opening game.
We gave you the reasons earlier why he's so effective running inside, his quickness, but also some great blocking up front by the San Francisco offensive line. Watch it here. Double team the nose tackle with Cross and Ayers and took him downfield about 8 yards, and that opened up a gigantic hole.
And officially, Wayne, Wendell Tyler has 101 yards, so he has gone over the 100 mark as the 49ers have a 1st and 10 on the Viking 40. Russ Francis moves in motion outside. Montana with time, fires. Solomon is there. He makes the catch, and another first down at the 22-yard line. Rufus best covering. Solomon's really a money guy when you get close to that goal line.
So's number 16. He hasn't had what you'd call one of his better days, but as we said, it doesn't seem to bother him. Watch this throw. This is a great throw. It's a long throw, a lot longer than it seems because he's thrown to the sideline, and it's right there for Solomon where no one else could possibly get to it.
An 18-yard pickup, so on this drive, Montana has hit rookie Jerry Rice for 15 and Freddie Solomon for 18. 1st and 10 on the Viking 22. Opening minute of the final quarter. Tyler hit immediately by Studwell, who just stormed through, and Wendell didn't know what hit him.
On a blitz. They pulled the guards, and he came in right through a gap on a blitz behind the pulling guard.
See here whether the Vikings can tighten up at the line here in their big defensive test of the game.
Watch the 2 guards pulling right there. Here comes Studwell. He was the middle linebacker right in behind him and makes the play.
Lose a yard on the play. 2nd down and 11 back at the 23. Here's the kind of game Wendell Tyler has. He goes in motion. Deep drop for Montana, and he finds his tight end, John Frank, off to the left side. Frank is out of bounds at the 17-yard line, driven there by Willie Teal. Gain of about 5.
This was, I think, the number 2 receiver here. Montana will look downfield for Freddie Solomon, who's trying to split his zone down the middle. Nothing there, so he comes right over here to John Frank, the tight end, who ran a little slant out and picks up pretty good yardage.
They call Frank the heir apparent at tight end. He's probably the best blend of a blocker and receiver that the Niners have. Out of Ohio State in his 2nd year. 3rd down and 6 at the 18. 6 defensive backs in there for the Vikings. Montana going for Craig all alone. He's got it. 5. Penalty marker down. He's in the end zone. Touchdown. But a penalty marker was thrown as Roger Craig was wide open on the right side.
Holding defense.
It'll count. Touchdown. 18 yards.
Touchdown.
And Craig has scored his 2nd touchdown of the game, and the 49ers have moved in front now 13-7.
Watch 55, Studwell, the linebacker. He has coverage right here. He starts out in pretty good shape, but Craig just too fast for him with no help from any defensive backs. They got to know where the rest of them went. Really, there should have been a free safety or somebody over there helping him out. Studwell had him all the way to the corner, and there's just no way.
So now with Joe Montana holding, Ray Wershing will try to add the 14th point. He does. And it's 14-7 in favor of the 49ers right now. We pause for a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
If you're paying more than $7.50 a month for checking, you're paying too much and getting too little. Wells Fargo comes through with the Gold account. Unlimited check writing, no minimum balance, personalized checks at no charge, and more. 10 valuable banking services, all for just $7.50 a month. The Gold account. More checking, more banking for less. Wells Fargo comes through.
The best deal in Nissan history will soon become history. But for a limited time, you can still get 8.8% financing on any tough new Nissan truck. Listen to these savings.
Nissan saved me almost $700.
That's an example of what you can save on Nissan's lowest sticker price truck. How much did you save in interest payments?
Almost $1,500.
How much?
Away, and Darren Nelson gets an extra 4 or 5 yards and gets 9 all told to the 43-yard line before Dwight Hicks and Eric Wright bring him down.
Minnesota calls that play a hide. Watch Darren Nelson. It'll be a play fake right here, but watch him just kind of get down there, wait a few counts, see him kind of sneaking down. He's a little guy anyway. They call it a hide. Then he slips out underneath the linebackers, hopes to break a tackle or two and pick up good yardage. He picked up 9.
Leo Lewis and Mike Jones wide left at the 42-yard line. Darren Nelson battles his way for a first down at the 45-yard line, and that's all they wanted there. Dwayne Board and Mike Walter make the stop on Darren Nelson. Coming on a strong side blitz. Dwayne Board, the best all-round defensive lineman of a good group.
And they haven't used him a lot in this ball game. You know, Bill Walsh with that system and George Seifert, the defensive coach, of getting fresh legs in there in the fourth quarter. And they're doing that now with Board's in there, Dean's in there, Johnson. And so it's crunch time, and they've got the people in there now that they want.
Board and Tina Turner, just to name 2. Of course, you know about Fred Dean, who usually is there when it counts at the very end. First and 10 at the 45. Alfred Anderson in motion. Play action. Kramer fires. Caught. Another first down with the tight end, Steve Jordan. Good for 11 yards. Ricky Ellison on the tackle. Steve Jordan, who caught 38 passes, catches a good one there.
You know, we heard so much about Les Steckel's famed Iron Man contest last year that almost put this team into oblivion, and no one ever talked about the guy that won it. You're looking at him right there, number 83, beat everybody in all those torture drills that they ran. Rope climbing and conditioning, where guys were falling by the wayside. He's a great athlete from Brown.
First and 10 at the San Francisco 44 with 10.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Vikings trailing 14-7. Going deep this time for Mike Jones. Touchdown!
Single here against Ronnie Lott, number 42. Lott in good shape here. Takes a little outside move and suddenly is in trouble. Jones runs a straight up. He was the starter before Anthony Carter got here. No stranger to the end zone. He caught 40 touchdown passes in college at Tennessee State. That's an NCAA record.
And here is Tommy Kramer's reaction. Keep in mind, last year he threw a 70-yard touchdown pass to Jones against the LA Raiders. He comes back with a big strike here, and the furrowed brow of Bill Walsh is evident. It's 14-13. Jan Stenerud with Coleman holding, ties it up. Last year. So the have-nots getting a few licks in today. Here's Derek Harmon at the 5-yard line, returning the kickoff. And he is stopped at the 23. The key to Kramer getting time for the long touchdown bomb.
Minnesota great blocking, and they pick up a safety blitz. Watch the bottom of your screen now. Carlton Williamson, number 27, will come in. Looks like he's untouched, and is until right there. Alfred Anderson steps into him, enables Kramer to get the ball off, and it was a beauty.
Tommy Kramer with the touchdown throw, and a penalty has been assessed against the Minnesota Vikings.
Personal foul, number 47 defense after the run, first down.
That's Joey Browner. That'll give the 49ers a lot of breathing room up to the 38-yard line. First and 10 at the 38. Matt Blair is back in the game, an outside linebacker. Joe Montana screen to Freddie Solomon, who goes down and picks up 6 yards on the play, defended by Rufus Bess. Kramer's reaction. Keep in mind, last year he threw a 70-yard touchdown pass to Jones against the LA Raiders. He comes back with a big strike here, and the furrowed brow of Bill Walsh is evident. It's 14-13. Jan Stenerud with Coleman holding, ties it up. Last year. So the have-nots getting a few licks in today. Here's Derek Harmon at the 5-yard line, returning the kickoff. And he is stopped at the 23. The key to Kramer getting time for the long touchdown bomb.
Minnesota great blocking, and they pick up a safety blitz. Watch the bottom of your screen now. Carlton Williamson, number 27, will come in. Looks like he's untouched, and is until right there. Alfred Anderson steps into him, enables Kramer to get the ball off, and it was a beauty.
Tommy Kramer with the touchdown throw, and a penalty has been assessed against the Minnesota Vikings.
Personal foul, number 47 defense, after the run, first down.
It's Joey Browner. That'll give the 49ers a lot of breathing room up to the 38-yard line. First and 10 at the 38. Blair is back in the game at outside linebacker. Joe Montana screen to Freddie Solomon, who goes down and picks up 6 yards on the play, defended by Rufus Best.
You know, Nicky said earlier this week that this game would be as tough as any they play all year. No one believed him.
They do now. Time remaining in the fourth quarter. Joe Montana, 10 of 12 in the second half. Tommy Kramer also has come alive in the second half. Inside to Wendell Tyler. Tyler has gone over 100 yards rushing on the day. It's a first down as he drives the ball into Minnesota territory to the 45. 11-yard pickup. Keith Nord on the tackle.
Watch John Ayers, the left guard, come through, gets Studwell, number 55. Cross gets the other linebacker. And Tyler has free skating.
Wendell has carried 18 times for 108 yards. It was 7-0 at halftime on Roger Craig's early touchdown. Derek Harmon replaces Wendell Tyler. First and 10 at the 45. Roger Craig with Randy Cross blocking. Goes forward to the 40-yard line, and Pete Rose, who put himself in the lineup on this Sunday. It wasn't anticipated that he would, has played and has just tied Ty Cobb's record for career hits, 4,191. The game is played at Wrigley Field. If he doesn't get any more hits, he'll have a chance to break it before the home fans at Cincinnati's Riverfront Stadium. Second down and 7 on the 42. Craig and Tyler back in there at tandem. That's the time remaining. Montana's quick toss to Solomon. Driving for the first down, and he may have it. Fumble. The whistle had blown. There's no fumble. Pass is complete, and we may have a measurement at the 35-yard line. Bud Grant. Have you ever seen him lose his temper?
No, I really haven't. I've seen him grimace and shake his head a few times, but he doesn't get carried away. He's really something. He says a good coach has got to have a good quarterback, a loyal dog, and a faithful wife. And he says if you get any spare time, don't spend it with your quarterback.
He knows how to live. The measurement, shy by a little less than a yard. You know, it's important. People look at coaches and wonder why they don't get more excited. Tom Landry never is, because he's always thinking ahead, and that's what Bud Grant is doing. And Bill Walsh, too.
You know, it looks kind of, it always, after playing against him for so many years, it's kind of funny to see him indoors here. You know, I keep wanting to see him outside with the steam coming out of the nostrils and all wrapped up in cold. Bob Holloway right there next to him. But Bud Grant himself, when it was raining this morning, he said, well, I wish we were playing this one outside today.
No heaters. 3 tight ends for the Niners, Francis, Cooper, and Frank. Third down and 1. 2 running backs. Montana, first down. Right now for an NFL Today report. Here's Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Well, Dick, here it is. One of the great moments in sports history. Pete Rose has done it. He has just tied Ty Cobb's all-time hit record, flashing a line drive in Chicago's Wrigley Field. He thus is 2 of 3 against Reggie Patterson. The Cubs lead the game 5-1. You would think that Rose would get another at-bat, a chance to break it. Let's go back to Dick.
Thank you, Brent. So much like Rose, he wants to get the hits. He wants to stay in the race. That's more important than anything else. Wendell Tyler breaks one and is close to a first down. Wendell Tyler tackled by Keith Nord. And the 49ers leading ground gainer at over 1,200 yards, off to a terrific start here.
He sure is, getting a lot of help, too. The offensive line really controlling the line of scrimmage, and Roger Craig with an excellent lead block. Fawnhorst over there. And once he plants and gets upfield, he's a blur.
He's got 117 yards. The clock running, 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Second down and 1. And Roger Craig, first down inside the 20. Tackle Keith Millard and Mark Mullaney. And so the 49ers, who had a solid drive, 8 plays, 70 yards, when they took the lead, showing another good drive here.
And what you're seeing here really is the team that you expected to see at the start of this ball game and throughout it. They're completely controlling the game right now, physically across the line of scrimmage, and that's what they had hoped to do. But mistakes and penalties slowed them down.
Matt Blair slowed up. He had knee surgery, and sometimes that knee locks on him, and that apparently is what happened the first game.
Minnesota scheme. Watch Studwell again. He'll be over the middle. He's out a little step further this time and has a better chance, but it's still not going to work. He just can't stay with him. Montana's picked it up twice in a row and gotten it out there with no help for Studwell. Rufus Best coming over, but he's way too late. That's just the scheme of their defense, and it's not working in that particular play. That's obvious.
So Roger Craig following suit. Ray Worthing makes it 21-14. Craig with 3 TDs. Oh, we have a penalty marker down, so let's wait. 6:06 showing on the clock. Craig with 3 touchdowns against Miami.
Holding, offense 95.
Well, this penalty will be marked off against Michael Carter of the 49ers, and so Wershing will have to add that point from further back.
Well, Minnesota historically under Bud Grant will put a lot of pressure on extra points and field goals, and they'll do it from up the middle. They'll line up 4 guys basically right over the center and the guards and stack up in that middle. 2 of them will surge as far forward as they can. 2 others will fold in behind, and then they'll jump.
This will be a 30-yard conversion. Montana holding. And the kick is good. Wershing adds the conversion, and it's 21-14 in favor of the 49ers.
It's your money, son. But if you want my advice, buy another Subaru. It's been good to us.
Sure, Dad.
Field for a first down or your favorite wide receiver.
Only 39 seconds left. And Houston down to what could be its final play.
Now when Dave Craig knelt down, the Bengals quickly signaled a time.
86 Mazda Field that way.
We're here at the 18th hole of this light beer open, and we've seen some real unusual shots today.
You said it.
Hey, Bob, I think you get a birdie.
Let's see, how am I supposed to hit it through this tree?
No problem, Bert.
How's Yuka going to get on this one?
That calls for another light beer from Miller.
Make it 2, 3, 4. It's a good thing light's less filling.
John, the last player's approaching the tee.
Now, when it goes to 100, you sell. I won't be long, girls. Hold my calls, will you? It hit the weather vane. It's in the drain. Here it comes out. It's going on the green. It's going in the hole.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This open ought to be closed.
Next Saturday, Notre Dame meets Michigan in the season premiere of college football on CBS Sports.
The 49ers getting their motor running into second gear and third gear. That's the scoring drive capped by Joe Montana's second touchdown pass of the game. Roger Craig has scored all 3 of the 49er touchdowns as Ray Wershing kicks off to Minnesota with 6:06 showing on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Buster Rhymes at the goal line. To the 20. from the Washington Redskins, who is their #1 pick, finally stops Buster Rhymes at the 36-yard line. Well, coming up next, the finals of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships. Yesterday, Yvonne Lendl to beat Jimmy Connors in straight sets. John McEnroe with a gutty performance, outlasting Mats Wilander of Sweden. And today, the two of them will battle. The #1 seed, McEnroe, the #2 seed, Yvonne Lendl. McEnroe, the defending champion. Lendl, always the bridesmaid, live 4 o'clock Eastern. First and 10 for the Vikings on their 36. Kramer falls down over his own man, Darren Nelson. You don't often see that. You see them bang into each other, but you don't see a tackle.
I'm not sure whether he was going to be long for the world anyway, because Fred Dean made such an extreme move to the left. He was over the top of Curtis Rouse before he knew what happened. Watch this. There he goes down. Darren Nelson's down, but look who's coming in right here. 74. Was right on his trail.
Loss of 9. 2nd and 19 on the 27. I may put you on the spot after this play, knowing you're a tennis devotee. 5:32 remaining. Kramer out of the shotgun. Has some time. On the run. Complete to Leo Lewis. And Lewis nearly gets back to the original line of scrimmage at the 35. Well, final score, Seattle came back and beat Cincinnati after the Bengals had wrested the lead away from the Seahawks. Final score, the Giants over Philadelphia, 21-0. Other scores, Chicago, they were trailing big early, and they've come back to take a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. Pittsburgh with an easy romp in the 1st game, leading. And Detroit over Atlanta in a tight game in the 4th quarter. Cardinals in front. Miami regains the lead in the 4th. Marker down, moving in the line on 3rd and 11. Caught by Lewis. Stopped by Ronnie Lott finally at about the 40-yard line. Take some other scores. The Patriots. They're leading in the 4th quarter. New Orleans coming back for Kansas City, still with a comfortable lead.
Offside, defense, number 78, still 3rd down.
Joey Asasopo with offside. That's why you have to continue and make that pass play. So it'll be 3rd and 6. Final score, the Steelers, the defending champions in the AFC Central, beat the Colts 45-3. What about that tennis final today, Wayne?
I'm going to pick McEnroe. But it should be great. They've never played a bad one, those two.
No. 4 o'clock Eastern for the championship. 3rd down and 6 at the 40. Put pressure on Kramer. Going up on top for Leo Lewis, and it's overthrown. They had Eric Wright and Dana McLemore back there, but they put pressure on Kramer. 4th down. .434 remaining in the 4th quarter. Greg Coleman will in to kick again to Dana McLemore, who's back at the 15. Roger Craig has scored 3 touchdowns today. Big scoring play was a pass from Kramer to Mike Jones for 44 yards. 21-14 the score. San Francisco. Coleman gets off a good kick. McLemore back at the 10. Stopped at the 20 by Keith Noor. 50-yard punt by Coleman, and we'll be back to Minneapolis.
Giving that extra effort makes...
At the 21. Craig. Quick burst up the middle. Gets to the 26-yard line. The 49ers have something like 440 yards total offense. They gained over 500 in beating the Vikings last year, but that was a 51-7 score. And the big advantage today in the offensive department has been in the 49er ground game.
Yeah, it's taken a long time to do it, but they have their dominance now at the line of scrimmage. And it's taken quite some time to establish it, but they do have it.
2nd down and 5 for Montana, who briefly was sent to the sideline with a little ankle problem in the 1st quarter. Jerry Rice and Mike Wilson are the wide receivers to the right. Inside handoff, Tyler loses the ball. It's recovered by the Vikings. Doug Martin.
the things that have happened today to the 49ers. It's been good hustle by Minnesota, but watch Wendell Tyler here struggling for yardage, and sometimes to keep balance, that ball is out a little bit. This time it was just punched out of there by Studwell, number 55. Got a hand in there, punched it out. Here's Martin. Now watch Mike Wilson, number 85, come from the back here, and I think he's the one that saves the touchdown. Who's coming in from the side? Keep rolling there, and we'll see that. That might have been Roger Craig. Couldn't tell for sure. But nevertheless, the Vikings in business.
First and goal at the 1. The crowd at a fevered pitch. Vikings looking to tie up. And here is Alan Rice inside. No signal yet from the officials. Alan Rice, who scored the first Viking touchdown, is stopped short of the goal line on first down. Mike Walter there, and there you see. I wonder what the thoughts are going through Tyler's mind.
Well, I tell you what, he had the ball put away. It wasn't one of those fumbles where he was out waving the ball around and somebody stripped him. He was getting in traffic, and he had it in the right spot. It was just a great effort by Studwell that went in there and punched that ball out with his fist.
5 turnovers and 2 other near misses. Second and goal at the 1. Who would have thunk it? .256 remaining, and here's how the Vikings have drawn to within 1.
Ground level, you're right on the goal line, so you'll be able to tell if that ball breaks the plane of the end zone, and it did.
It is now 21-20, and Bill Walsh's 49ers are getting the test of their lives in this opening game. Coleman will hold for Stenerud with 2:56 remaining. He will try to tie it up. You'll hear the crowd.
In the play? She was the avocado. Oh, the avocado.
Sports. If you think this is a shocker right now with 2:56 remaining in the game, look at this one. The Houston Oilers beat the Miami Dolphins 26-23. So the 3-13 Oilers upset the AFC champion Dolphins, and the Minnesota Vikings, who are also 3-13 last year, are trying to do likewise to the defending world champion 49ers. Kicking off to Stenerud, and Derek Harmon at the 1. Loses it. Vikings have it. Willie Teal made the hit, and Joey Browner made the recovery. Bud Grant has historically used his starters on special teams. That's the reason why. Number 37, Willie Teal, right there with the hit. Joey Browner, number 47, with the recovery. 49ers had it going. Harmon had a pretty good hole coming up there, was in good shape, but it was a good hit, and he lost control. That man hasn't lost his control yet, but I'm sure much more of this than he's about to. 6 turnovers, 5 of them fumbles. And the 49ers are in danger of getting upset here. It is 21-21, 2:44 remaining, and the Vikings have the ball on the 49ers 34. Welcome back, Bud Grant. In motion goes Anderson. Fake. And Kramer finds Jordan. And Jordan has a first down to the 12. Ronnie Lott makes the hit. 22-yard gain, and the Vikings are threatening.
Great play action faking back here by Kramer. Watch this. Look at it hold the linebackers in there. Both 99 Walter and 50 Ellison get turned around. Now watch the Iron Man. We told you he won the contest. There's why.
He had to be an Iron Man to survive those hits. the story right there. 1st and 10 for the Vikings on the 12-yard line, and now the 2-minute warning. Joe Montana is thinking about what will happen when he gets the ball again. For the cheers are for this man.
Well, what a sensational fake he made back there on the play action. And then Steve Jordan ran across the field, kind of a short pattern, made the catch. It was right on the money. Sensational call. You know, that was, Bud Grant used to do that all the time. And I'll bet you he has another one. He and Jerry Burns, the offensive coordinator. In the old days when we'd play him, they'd always save something. I think they maybe learned it way back as far as Bobby Lane, but he'd always save 1 or 2 things to use at the end of a ball game. That pass we saw to Jordan right there hadn't been used in this ball game. They saved it. Crucial time. They're inside the 10 right now, or rather they're at the 12. Once they get inside the 10, I'll bet you they have something else like that they haven't shown today that we'll see possibly.
Any similarity between last year's Minnesota Viking team and this year is purely coincidental. No question about it. Browner has played an outstanding game. Keel, the secondary, has really played a tremendous game. Meanwhile, Jeff Fuller and the 49ers are in shock over on their side. You don't win games with those mistakes. And while the Vikings had a punt away early, they finally took advantage of the fumble, scoring a touchdown to tie it up. What'll happen on this turnover, as it's 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line for the Vikings? Keep in mind now, Jan Stenerud was perfect last year from inside the 40. And if the Vikings can't get 6, they'll call for Jan to try to give them a lead.
You know that now on defense, the 49ers are saying to each other, we've got to go after the ball. We've got to punch it out. Studwell did it for them. They'll attack it the same way. They'll go after the ball any way they can.
The Vikings have not had the lead at all in this game. They trailed 7-0 and tied it up at 7, and it was 14-7 in a tie, 21-14, and they came back in time. Anderson and Rice are the running backs. Alan Rice fights his way to the 10-yard line. And now the 49ers call one of their 3 timeouts to stop the clock.
Right now at this point, time on the clock is more important to them than those timeouts. I don't think they'll spend them all, but they may spend one more.
And keep one for offense.
And try to keep one for offense and try to keep a little time on the clock. And of course their goal is right now, 0 points. That's almost unrealistic. They definitely have got to keep Minnesota out of the end zone, or I know that he'll feel that it's almost a hopeless situation to go the length of the field with perhaps only 1 timeout remaining. 2 you see there, but don't be surprised if they use another one.
Keep in mind, the 49ers have played the Vikings twice in the last 2 years and have rolled up 99 points in those victories, but a different story today. And also realize that in their first game a year ago, the 49ers needed a field goal from Ray Wershing with seconds remaining to beat the Detroit Lions 30-27. They were tested in the opening game last year, Wayne, and they went from there.
If I were the Niners on defense now, I'd be very aware of the tight ends again. Play action again, and they'll block down and hold for a count or 2 and then slip out. Rams like that one over the years.
2nd down and 8 at the 10. Ted Brown, good receivers in the backfield, number 23. To Brown. This is off the left side, and he's in for the touchdown.
Dick, I'll bet you anything this was an audible. He called 2:26, and they ran it right into the 6 hole over there. Tommy Kramer saw something, got a great block from Terry Tosh. Brown did, and they're in the end zone, and I think Kramer audibled that play.
First carry of the game for Ted Brown, who scored 6 touchdowns last year to lead the Vikings. It is 27-21, and the looks at the 49er bench say it all. Coleman is holding for Stenerud. The kick is good, and it's 28-21, but a penalty mark marker is down. Penalty marker down. If it's against the 49ers, it'll be assessed on the kickoff. Here it is.
49ers had a blitz on, but Kramer saw it, and that's probably why he audibled, and he audibled away from Carlton Williamson, his strong safety.
During the try.
Boy, did it work. Penalty against Dennis Johnson of the Vikings. So as was the case with Ray Wersching earlier, they're going to have to try the conversion again. It remains 27-21, but there's the man who scored the go-ahead touchdown, Ted Brown. First time the Vikings have been in the lead all day. Walsh, a man who is innovative and has a great mind for the offense. Sure, he has what he wants to do, getting set for a one last-ditch drive. We'll kick it again. This is a 29-yard attempt for the conversion. And this is good. The reaction to the touchdown. Here's how the Vikings saw it. 1:49 remaining. Standing ovation for the Vikings.
Pruitt, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Noonan, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Boulder, I want Schmitzen at that meeting. Snow or no snow?
Bielmeyer. You know who to call when you have to get a package there. But what do you do when you have to get a person there? No matter how crazy the weather, you drive a Subaru. Or you may get stuck with something else.
The Vikings are leading with 1:49 remaining in the fourth quarter. The 49ers have 2 timeouts remaining, and they need 7 points to tie this game. But it's been mistakes on the part of the 49ers. Fumble by Wendell Tyler, recovered by Doug Martin, and Anderson scored to tie it up with 3:27 to go. And then Derek Harmon fumbled, returning the kickoff, and a 22-yard pass to Steve Jordan set up Ted Brown's 10-yard run to give the Vikings a 28-21 lead, and Stenerud will be kicking off again. Turnaround by the Vikings, graphically illustrated right there. Miami Dolphins have already lost to Houston, and the defending world champion 49ers are trailing here. And it's going to be up to number 16, Wayne.
Minnesota scored so quickly after San Francisco called that first timeout. Keep in mind they still have 2 left. They have 2 left now.
1:49 on the clock. Whether they execute or not, you will see the 49er offense, the style of their offense in 2-minute drill, and that's what Bill Walsh is looking at right now.
And they're going to have to go as deep in the bag as they've had to for a long time to pull this one out.
You see the damage of those last 2 mistakes resulting in Viking touchdowns. To the Vikings' credit, they never fell more than 1 touchdown behind in this game. And here's Stenerud. Harmon and McLemore are back for the 49ers. And it's Harmon at the 1. Protecting the ball, Derek Harmon runs it out to the 29-yard line. The tackle is made by David Howard as the clock stops with 1:44 to go. And it's in the hands of Joe Montana. That's the story. And the 49ers have 2 timeouts remaining.
We definitely won't see any trickery, Dick. There won't be any reverses and passes out that, because that's not going to fool Minnesota now. They're going to be playing a little loose. They can give the 49ers some yardage.
Mike Wilson and Jerry Rice out to the right. In motion is Earl Cooper. 1st and 10 at the 29. Montana fires, caught. Earl Cooper shy of a first down. He gets to the 38. It'll be 2nd down and 2, where Joey Browner makes the hit as the clock continues to run. Lost ball, and the 49ers squander an opportunity right there. And now they may be forced into using a timeout, and they will. They've got 1 left. with that much time remaining. Tough break for a team that needs all the time and all the help they can get on this drive.
You look at the faces, and I think the thing that you'll notice is there's no loss of composure or lack of confidence over there. And there's no berating anybody or finger pointing or anything like that. And there's a guy who has hung in there, come back from an injury last year, hung in there today, and has been sensational here in the late stages of this game. And I'm just dying to know if he really did audibilize that Ted Brown touchdown. I'm almost positive he did, and it was just a great call by him.
He had completed only 4 passes early in the game, but it seemed like a different Tommy Kramer when he came out in the second half. It was 7-0 at halftime, but he had some long strikes, including a 44-yard touchdown pass to Mike Jones. He's called a smart game. 3rd down and 4. Nickel back for the Vikings. Montana completes it to Mike Wilson, gets the first down, and goes out of bounds to stop the clock at the 42 with 1:14 on the clock. They'll move the sticks, and with 1:14 to go, the 49ers, keep in mind, still only 1 timeout left.
Montana is almost impossible to sack, Dick, in these situations where you're just rushing 4 people. He'll get back there and look around, and if anything shows up pressure-wise, he'll move away from it. So it's very hard to count on that, and that's what Minnesota's doing, is rushing just 4.
Dwight Clark is in the game. Lines up to the left. Montana in the pocket, drills it, and it's caught inside the 40-yard line by Jerry Rice, and the rookie makes another big catch and another first down for the 49ers to the 35-yard line. A 23-yard catch by Rice. Studwell and Nord make the tackle. Under a minute to go. 49ers in Minnesota territory. Montana swings it out, and Cooper can't hold on to it. Tough catch to make.
Ball was thrown a little low, but Montana made a great throw to Rice, just the one before that. It all matters, and you need every one of them at this time, but not that time.
Jerry Rice has been a factor in the 49er passing attack, and I think that he's answered a lot of questions as far as going from Mississippi Valley State to the world champion. 2nd and 10 at the 35. 49ers need a touchdown. Anything less? Not enough. Montana under pressure finds Cooper. Out of his hands, he was wide open, and Walsh looks angry now on the sideline. It's 3rd down and 10. Here's how the coach saw that play.
A little pressure on Montana. He moves out. Cooper's wide open. Looks downfield before the ball is in his hands. And the coach can't believe it.
3rd and 10 at the 35-yard line. 43 seconds remaining. And the 49ers have to go 35 yards. Bud Grant and the Vikings wait in anticipation. 3rd and 10. Montana with time. Mike Wilson has it out of bounds. Another first down at the 22. Rufus Best is covering, and that stops the clock with 37 seconds to go. That was good for 13 yards.
They're getting to the point now where Minnesota is defensively, Dick, where they can't afford to lay off the 49er receivers as much as they have. They're going to have to start playing them a little bit tighter and perhaps shoot somebody in there instead of the 4 men to put some pressure on Montana.
Wendell Tyler is in at running back. Russ Francis returns to tight end. 1st and 10 at the Viking 22. Vikings lead by 7. Montana looking, going for the corner of the end zone. Roger Craig is there, but out of the end zone. It won't count. And it was Isaac Cole, the rookie from Alcorn State, who was covering Craig.
What a great adjustment here by Roger Craig, and a fine catch, but he definitely is out of bounds. Holt has pretty good coverage, and just a step away.
31 seconds remain, and Freddie Solomon getting the play from Bill Walsh. 2nd down and 10 at the 22-yard line. Meanwhile, at the other side,
Paul Wiggins there, the large fellow with the green crew cut, former coach at Kansas City and Stanford, line coach here.
Solomon and Clark are the wide receivers. Dumps it off to Tyler. Tyler, penalty marker down, and Wendell Tyler fights his way inside the 20. 22 seconds on the clock, which stops. Joey Browner on the hit, and the penalty is against the 49ers. Looks like offensive interference, Wayne. Illegal use of the hand.
May have been a lineman blocking while the ball's in the air on the screen. Any number of things.
The critical number for the 49ers is the time, 22 seconds. 28-21 in favor of the Minnesota Vikings, who have hung in there valiantly all game against the 49ers and finally took the lead.
Offensive pass interference. Offensive pass interference, 87, 10 yards, still second down.
It was on Dwight Clark, pushing off downfield. That's a tough call when, let's take a look. Now, this could be one of those option type screens where if he's open, they'll go to him. If not, they'll dump it off, working against Willie Teal. And Clark looks like he's blocking all the way. And you saw why the call was made. He was blocking while the ball was in the air, and you can't do that.
And now the Minnesota Vikings have called up their first timeout of the second half, and they have 2 left. Now, a broken play, and Freddie Solomon did not look back at all, and Joe Montana and the pass hit him on the back. You don't see that often with the Niners.
No, and look out, watch Solomon out here. Now here's Montana, and if you'll, as the camera pans, perhaps you can see Dwight Clark downfield already blocking, so it was a set play there.
It didn't hit him, but it landed right behind him.
He was trying to kind of set a little pick and screen down there for Solomon, but it didn't happen.
18 seconds remain. Solomon yells the play to Joe Montana. They have 2 downs to get it done. Jerry Rice is in the game at wide receiver. Penalty flag will stop the play. 15 seconds remain, so 3 seconds tick off there.
Ball start, number 71, 5 yards, and down.
Keith Fawnhorst, the right tackle, who played at the University of Minnesota, doesn't make the 49er task any easier here with 15 seconds remaining. Grant and Walsh, both of whom have been to the Super Bowl. Walsh has won 2, Grant has lost 4. But Bud Grant is here under different circumstances. He's trying to rebuild, get back to those days of the Super Bowl. 3rd down at the 37. They put the 3 seconds back on the clock. 18 left. Montana falls down, and a penalty marker down too. "14 seconds showing." Let's see what the flag is. Jim Tunney's been busy holding another one against San Francisco.
Maybe recused.
It would be 4th down if they refuse it.
Scott Studwell wants to know exactly what they want to do on the sideline. Tell me, do I take it?
They don't.
Do I refuse it?
You're right, Wayne. They're going to decline the penalty.
Holding, 71, decline, 4th down.
Keith Fawnhorst. Watch Montana's feet right here. Goes down without anyone touching him.
So now the 49ers need to get to the 12 for a first down, but once again, the Vikings call a timeout, leaving them with 1, and once again, they go to the sideline en masse to talk things over with Bob Hollway, the defensive coach. But this is where the big decision has to be made on the 49ers side.
Yeah, it's almost a hopeless task over there now. It really is. 14 seconds left. They still have 1 timeout remaining. There's just not much you can do. I think over there now, you know, you ask yourself, You know, do we try a Hail Mary? Do we try that kind of play? Or, you know, do we stay with a regular situation? It's either one of them. It's just like rolling the dice.
You figure they've got 2 plays left with 14 seconds, 2 long pass plays?
Not with 4th down, Dick. We're looking at 4th down.
Sorry, they got to get to the 12-yard line.
Yes.
So it's not important for them necessarily to go all the way and get the score.
So, you know, this is it right here for them, basically, and unless they gain down to the 12. And what I'm saying is they got to really, if they're thinking anything right now, they're thinking about what do we have that can get us into the end zone now. We can't think about getting it in the next play. Dwayne Board.
So this is it.